In today's episode, Bruno asks, what is the channel that most impacts your personal branding? That's an interesting question. It's going to depend on a couple things. Number one, it's going to depend on how do you measure your personal brand, or how do you measure any brand? And then two, how do you align your channel data with your personal brand data? So to begin, measuring a brand is probably one of the most complex and difficult things you can do in marketing, because brand is an amorphous term. There are so many definitions of what a brand is. My personal favorite definition is by a comedian named Zay Frank, who said, brand is the emotional aftertaste of a series of experiences. And he goes on to cite that's why the term grandma's cookies gives you a certain emotional sense, but old people's cookies, not as much, even though they're synonymous terms. There's definitely a cognitive dissonance between the two. So that's a good example of brand. So what is your brand? What is your personal brand? I would argue it's the ability for you to be known. Mitch Joel has a great expression for this as well. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. And I think that's a great starting point for the measurement of a personal brand. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. So you may have things like social media audiences or email lists or things, but at the end of the day, if no one remembers you, if no one knows who you are, and if no one knows what you do, then I would say that you don't have a strong personal brand. So how would you find that? How would you get that information? The easiest place would be if you have a personal website, and you really should these days. If you have a personal website that has Google Search Console set up, what you would want to do is look in Google Search Console for branded organic search, which means people searching for you by name. Now, if you have a common name or you share a name with someone who's famous, that can be tricky. Believe me, I know. There's a deceased actor who shares my name, and I'm still trying to outrank him in search, and it's been 12 years since he died. Sorry to his family. Still working on that. But using organic search data, branded organic search data, the number of people who search for Christopher Penn and click through to my website, because that clearly indicates that I was the person they were searching for, not the actor. Measuring that over time is a great proxy for that brand. And then long tail queries about your name too. So Christopher Penn and analytics, Christopher Penn and data, Christopher Penn and Google Analytics, Christopher Penn and machine learning, Christopher Penn and AI. Those are all things that I would want someone to be searching for that are relevant to me, that are relevant to what I do. So think about your own brand terms. What are the brand terms that you have that you would want to track to see how are people finding me? How are people finding what I do? So that's part one, is getting your branded search data together, your branded organic search data together. Part two is aligning that data with your channel data, which means extracting out all of your Twitter data, your Facebook data, wherever it is you're posting, your email marketing statistics, your LinkedIn stuff, your blog, and putting it all in a giant spreadsheet with your branded organic search data as sort of the outcome, the goal that you're after. And you would run something called driver analysis, which you can learn a whole lot more over if you watch any of the webinars at trustinsights.ai, my company's website. We've done a whole bunch of things on predictive analytics. Look for predictive analytics talks. But what you're essentially doing is what's called driver analysis, which is a fancy way of talking about multivariate regression analysis. And what you are doing is trying to figure out what combination of variables, like number of tweets per day, or new signups to your newsletter, or any of these things that you do of all the things that you do have a relationship to branded organic search, have a mathematical relationship that you can then go and test. So if you find out that tweets on Tuesdays plus emails longer than 1,000 lines, that's a really long email, but if you find that those combination of things really seem to have the highest mathematical relationship with personal brand searches, then you have the opportunity to go test that and say, okay, if tweets on Tuesdays is one of the things that the analysis says is really important, guess what? I'm going to double the amount of tweeting I do on Tuesdays and see if the branded organic search number goes up by a proportional amount. So it really is, you find the relationships and then you test the relationships for causality. If emails are the thing, try doubling the number of emails for a short period of time. Does the amount of branded organic search double as well? Make sure, if possible, in your calculations that you account for lag. So knowing how long it takes for your brand to become known. If someone receives an email from you, how long does it take for them to search you? That's something that you can also compute within the data. So that's the answer to that question. Your answer is going to be different than my answer. When you run this analysis, it is going to be very, very different. The way we do things, what we do, how we do them, all will vary. So there is no good answer that you could pick up from me and apply to your own marketing, to your own personal marketing. It just doesn't work. You are a different person. You have different channels. You are effective in different places, and it's not going to work the same. So keep that in mind. So what channel most impacts my personal branding? I don't know. I haven't run the analysis yet. This will take some time, but that's how to do it. That's how to do it. And by the way, this same method goes beyond personal brand. It works for your company's brand. It works for your products or services and their brand. So try this out with your own data and see what answer you and your analytics teams come up with. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. We'll talk to you soon.
Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.